Hello and welcome back to the Lincoln Loco 2. Today we have got two games for you against South Shields and Telford in the Vanarama North National League. Or the Vanarama National League North, rather. That's the actual league name, Tom. Anyway, welcome back to the Lincoln Loco 2. Hope you're all doing well. Since you were last here, things have been okay, actually, I've got to say. Things have been alright. For a mid-table side, they're pretty much what you would expect. So you were last here for the 5-2 pummeling that we suffered at Blythe, followed up by the 2-0 loss to Halifax in the FA Trophy. Not brilliant. After that, though, we played 5 games, and we've had some pretty positive results in them, I've got to say. Southport, a 1-1 draw there. Own goal from their player made sure we got the draw there. So that was quite a good result for us, I've got to say. I was pleased with the way we played in that game. We didn't really break them down, unfortunately, but it was a good game at least, I've got to say. We then went up against Tamworth in the league, and we beat them 2-1 away from home, which was really good stuff. We needed a positive result because the previous 5 games before that hadn't been that great in terms of results. So we needed a win away to Tamworth, and we got it through Joe Howell and an 89th minute winner from George Danaher. We followed up with another 89th minute winner, this time from Joseph Hall at home to Bradford Park Avenue. Made sure to pick up another 3 points in that game, or that game week at least. That was really good. After that, though, 2 back-to-back defeats, a 2-0 or 2-1 loss, to Nuneaton Borough. Elliot Holmes scoring both their goals, but Danny Rose, our new signing from last episode, getting himself on the score sheet there. And then last time out, up against third place Hereford in the league, they beat us 1-0 in what was quite a close game considering that they are vying for promotion and we're sort of mid-table mediocrity sort of thing. So I was kind of pleased with the way we played in that game. We lost it, but it wasn't a bad game. Today though, South Shields in 20th and Telford in 7th. 2 different challenges. Hopefully we can come and match both teams and beat them. What it means to the table is that we sit 13th, near enough, pretty much bang in the middle, give or take a few places. We're on 40 points right now, which is a pretty good total, I've got to say. Near's just ahead of us on 41 points. Above them, Guiseley on 47. So there's quite a bit of a gap between us and 10th place. There's an 11-point gap between us and Telford in the playoffs. So again, we're not going to get playoffs this season unless we win every single game for the rest of the season from here on out. But the likelihood of that happening is pretty much 0. So I think we can be happy with where we are at the table right now. We can push on next season. This is a great springboard for next season, I think, to push into the playoffs and maybe even challenge for the title as well. So I'm really happy with how things have turned out this season, actually. So here is the lineup then for today's game against South Shields. It's pretty familiar now from what you should be used to. So I say that. There is a change already. Coulter is now in goal instead of Calderwood. We just thought we'd try Coulter again just because at the end of last episode we conceded 7 goals in the last episode. And although, where is he? Where's he gone down here? Calderwood, he did get like a 7.1 in that 5-goal defeat game that we had. We just can't be conceding 5 goals in games and things like that. And in the past few weeks, I just haven't been massively convinced by him. So I thought it was probably worth getting Coulter in for a few games. And he's been okay. He's been better than that time we put in before. And he conceded lots of goals then. So I think it's worth giving Coulter a little go every now and again. And it keeps Colchester, or whoever we got him off my back. I think it's Colchester we got him from. Yeah, got him from Colchester. It keeps their manager off my back as well, because literally every player that we've got on loan, apart from Guru, doesn't really play too much. Hall's starting to play more now, but Gray has sort of dropped out of the team, and the managers just get on my back all the time. So it keeps the Colchester manager happy a little bit. So Coulter's in goal for today's game, at least, with a backline of Camwell, Guru, Sanderson, and Anakin. McCabe comes back into that CDM position. He was injured for a little bit, and we played Danny Rose there for a little bit as well, but McCabe is better, and I do prefer him. So he's coming back into that attacking or defensive midfielder position today. Joseph Hall and Joe Howell in that midfield central partnership, with Ganiu out wide, Bird on the right, and Danaher up front, who's now got 10 goals this season. Right then, kickoff is upon us here today, and today's match is also a bit of a scouting mission, I've got to say, because South Shields are sitting 20th in the division, 3 points from safety. So if they go down, perhaps some of their best players, they may want to come to us, jump ship, because there will be some players on that South Shields side that are better than players that we've got in our team. So slight scouting mission today as well. Keep an eye out for some of these high ratings, see who's good on the pitch, who scores a lot of goals sort of thing. I think it's definitely worth keeping an eye out. At the other end of the spectrum, actually, it looks like Boston are going to have a second successive promotion, so it's probably worth keeping an eye on them as well, because some of their players who go up won't be good enough for the next level, and they may want to come to us because we're pretty local compared to them. So maybe that will work quite well. If Boston go up, we can try and scout those guys out. First highlight of the game, though, looks like it is going towards South Shields. They put the ball forward. Camwell nearly puts it into his own net there, to be fair. Coulter did very well to keep that out, picks it up, And if the highlight was for that, I think the highlight was for that near own goal, to be fair, which is fair enough. I've got to say, it did come close to a goal, but South Shields coming forward again, although we do retain possession at the back, and Joe Howell can come forward with the ball. Plays out towards Ganiyu, who is dangerous from that left-hand side when he wants to play well. Right now, doesn't want to play well because he gets tackled far too easily there by Buxton, and South Shields can come forward. I mean, this highlight has just been them passing it around for ages. They punt it forward, and we mess up the clearance. Now they come forward again. Stobbs at the back post is in. And with their first shot of the game, South Shields, trying to claw themselves to safety, go 1-0 up. So, not very good for us, going 1-0 down, but in a positive note, scouting mission-wise, we can scout Stobbs now. We know that he's a good goal scorer from the wing, so we can keep an eye on him. He could be a decent player. Struggling to find other positives, though, because we are going to half-time 1-0 down, which is far from ideal. Aggressively, come on, lads, show a bit of desire. Let's try and win this game in the second half. We have enough quality to do so. We've had more chances. They've only had one chance in this whole game and they've taken it, so that's a bit annoying as well. I think in the second half, we should be doing all right. Attendance is steadily growing throughout the season. 404 here today, 98 away, but that means we've got over 300 of our own fans here, which is good to see. Like, we're slowly growing in attendances throughout the season. Hopefully next season we can try and break that 500 mark regularly, including away fans, of course. Going to be very tough when we get into the Football League at some point because, well, we're not going to be able to be a self-sustaining club with attendances. That's not going to happen for a long, long time. Even if we make it to the Premier League, for example, that's not going to happen, unfortunately. We do need to make some changes, though, because not much is going on. So we're going to bring Tommy Richardson on the right-hand side of the pitch as a winger. I think we need to just try something else out there. In fact, we may bring Max Brown on the left-hand side as well. We'll leave Danaher up there as well, but we'll make changes to the wingers at least. So there's 2 changes. We'll also move up to attacking as well. I do want to get the win here today because we want to finish as high as possible to try and, really show potential players for next season that we're a decent side, and with the right additions we can push on for playoffs. And we do potentially have a chance now as Danaher comes down the left-hand side of the pitch pretty much unopposed. If he can get the cross into the back post, which he does to Richardson with his first goal of the season. We signed him, must have been, I don't know, later on in the season. We signed him like a bit after the start of the season. Hasn't really played. He's like a backup striker or backup winger essentially, so doesn't get much game time at all, but has made an impact today, scoring that goal, bringing it back to 1-1. If we can grab another one with 10 minutes to go or so, we'll say push forward to the boys, that would be great. I think we'll go very attacking as well right in this game. I mean, South Shields had the one shot all game, which is really annoying how they scored it. I'll take a draw, to be fair. I mean, we can't be too cross with a draw, but, a team in the relegation zone we really should be beating. Potentially a chance right at the death here for us, although Danaher does give the ball away, although we get it back. And now Camwell can play it forward to Hall. If we can grab a goal here, this would be fantastic. Danaher into McCabe, McCabe into Hall. No real movement up front, though. That's the issue. No real movement. Danaher finally gets himself up there. Can he win the ball? Not quite. Buxton wins it. Plays it back to Ferguson. And I think that is going to be that. Unless Camwell can do something magical with it here with 10 seconds on the clock. I don't think he can because we're playing it around the defence. And the clock comes to end. The referee blows for a whistle. It's 1-1. Not the worst result in the world. It does end the 2 defeats in a row that we've had. But considering where South Shields are on the table, I expected better. As the headline says, we missed chances to win that game. 11 shots to their 2 shots. We really should have done better, I think, in that game. But this is the issue. I think next season we need to get a top quality for this division striker, a top quality left winger and a top quality right winger. I think that's where we've been let down this season more than anything. Defensively, we've been let down sometimes as well, but more often than not, it's our failure to capitalise on chances and score goals. So we need to focus on the attacking part of the game next season. Potentially could try and go for a 2-striker system next season. Perhaps 2 strikers may work better than 1. I don't know. It will probably depend actually on who's available over summer. If a lot of good strikers are available over summer and not many good wingers, we'll probably go to 2 strikers or maybe even 3 strikers next season. If the striking pool is a bit limited and the winger pool is like there's loads of wingers available, probably go for wingers. I think this is a bit harsh on us. Lincoln United faced the impossible against 7th place Telford. I mean, that's I feel it's a bit patronising from the from the old press there. Facing the impossible will be Lincoln United versus Manchester United, all right? Not Lincoln United versus AFC Telford. In fact, did we beat them earlier on in the season? In fact, we did. We beat them earlier on in the season. So I rest my case, stupid media. Anyway, I think when they go for the exact same lineup against Telford, I just think that's probably the better. In fact, we may swap Masters out for Hall for this game, just because Masters slightly better defensively as a ball midfielder, I think maybe that might just work in our favour. That's the one change that we'll make. That literally is the only change we're going to make for this game, I think. So let's submit the team and go for it. Right then, kickoff is upon us. We're away from home in our lovely green kit, which I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind having a Lincoln United green kit. I think it's quite an unusual one. Not many teams playing a full green one like that. So if there is one going at all, I'm not sure you can buy replica Lincoln United kits or not. But if there is, I'll have one. So Telford need to win this one. Telford need to win this one if they want to keep their playoff hopes alive. Brackley, Guiseley and Blythe all chasing Telford down. So they need to win it. But if we want to, get slightly higher from the table and finish slightly higher than 14th, where we currently are, then we need to win it as well. It's so tight between 11th and 17th. There's 3 points in it. So it is ridiculously tight at the moment. So it's still, we could still finish in a respectable mid-table or still finish lower mid-table sort of thing, or even towards the relegation zone if we're not careful. So we do need to keep picking up wins. We still need to keep doing well as Masters has the ball around the area. Do we retain possession? We kind of do. Ganiyu on the ball. Howell now into Masters. Masters shoots from distance. Puts it just over the bar, but a nice little move there. We're keeping possession well around their area. At the other end of the pitch, though, their corner comes in and is clear, but only as far as Remy Savage, who scores his second of the season to bring Telford 1-0 up just before half-time, frustratingly. Also drops us down to 16th temporarily, which is not nice to see. You hate to see that. Again, another slight scouting mission today, actually, because if Telford go up, we could maybe scout out some of their players who may not make the grade in the division above. We've cleared their free kick, but only as far as their free kick taker, although the pressure is being piled on, and if we can get a tackle in here, which we have done, Danaher coming forward, gets the ball into Howell, who's one-on-one with the goalkeeper, can't capitalise on the opportunity. He's got another chance, maybe back to Masters, tackled, cleared. We've missed a huge one there. Maybe if we had a two-striker system, it would have been a striker with very good finishing taking that shot, rather than our central midfielder, Howell, who can also play left wing-back. So that kind of shows what he's defensively minded rather than offensively minded. But he does get a few goals every now and again, to be fair. So he's a decent player still. Howell, though, puts it back to Anakin, who just about loses possession. And they can come forward at Telford, although they do lose possession themselves. So we can come straight back at them. Anakin into Howell. Howell up towards Danaher. Very nice ball, that, to be fair. And Danaher just puts it over the bar. We're knocking on the door in this game. We've had a few good opportunities. Again, though, we just don't capitalise on these creation of opportunities. You see what I'm saying? We just need more clinical players in that attacking third. More clinical wingers, more clinical strikers. That's what we need. 1-0 down at half-time, but that's, we were 1-0 down in the last game as well, and we pulled it back for a draw. So still got plenty of faith in the boys going into the second half. I've seen plenty of promising things. It's just finishing and clinicality. That's all we need to work on, I think. Also, probably not conceding goals as well. We could probably work on that as well. Better defence, maybe a bit better in transition, trying to get a few better passes out, keeping possession a bit better. There's quite a lot to work on, to be fair. Think we do need to make some changes, though. And one of them is taking McCabe off and bringing him up front alongside Danaher. But of course, he's not actually going to play as that striker. We're going to bring Richardson on actually up front because he scored a goal last game, didn't he? So he's going to come on as a poacher on attack, which is maybe going to work. I don't know. Chris Camwell, our left back, is exhausted, but we don't have another left back. We've been very fortunate, actually. He's not picked up an injury all season, but he's looking quite tired out there. So is Lee Masters. So we're going to bring Hall on as a central midfielder on attack. Yeah, let's bring him on attack, shall we? We'll also just push ourselves up to attacking as well. We've got nothing to lose at this point of the game. With 20 minutes to go, we need to grab some goals. And we've got a chance now with Camwell coming up the left-hand side of the pitch in towards Howell, who seems to be at the centre of every move of ours, pretty much. He puts a great ball up to Richardson. Can't quite get there, unfortunately. That would have been a great time for Richardson to get another goal. Could have cemented himself to have a starting position in the squad, to be fair, if he'd done that. Danaher, though, does get on that at the end of that goal kick. Howell now into Hall, and Hall thought was going to find a ball forward, but doesn't. Richardson now on the ball. He shoots, saved by the goalkeeper, I think. No, actually went over the bar instead. Again, the chances we've created in this game is brilliant. We just need a better striker. Telford, by the way, 1,100 fans with 18. I mean, that's impressive, to be fair, to get 1,100 home fans in this division. Like, fair play. Struggling to see, though, if we're going to get a goal in this game. And it's so frustrating to see us squander so many fantastic chances I mean, we've done everything right in terms of creating chances and defending, to be fair, for the most part, apart from their goal, which sort of came from a crowded corner. We've done everything right as they put it in the back of their net, but the final whistle had already blown. We've lost it 1-0, but I just don't think that's a fair reflection. Really think we should have won that game. What it does mean, though, it does really hammer home that we need to sign better forwards and wingers next season. That's got to be the priority now. I mean, it's not all doom and gloom. We are a good, 13 points ahead of South Shields in the relegation zone. I can't see any of those teams making it 13 points, so I think we are pretty much safe from relegation. With 7 games left to go as well, I don't think it's going to happen. We're not going to drop that many points. They're not going to make that many points up either. So, next episode, we're going to go for the final 2 games of the season to see where we finish in the table against Brackley and Alfred. And in between, we've got some big games, to be fair. I don't think we're going to do very well in between episodes because we've got Darlington who are 17th. So that could be a decent result. But then Macclesfield in first, Guiseley in 10th, who are sort of one of our rivals, I suppose. Boston, who are now in second, so who's just overtaken Macclesfield, overtook them, obviously. Kings Lynn are right down the bottom end of the table as well. So, ends of a spectrum. I don't think we're going to beat Macclesfield or Boston. We maybe draw against Guiseley. Hopefully we'll beat Darlington and Kings Lynn. And then next episode, who knows what's going to happen against Brackley and Alfreton, who are pretty much where we are in the table. So, thank you very much for watching today's episode. Yesterday's episode, when I was editing it back, I was kind of thinking, it's a bit of a crap episode. I don't think I was very good last episode. It does take a little while, or it does take an episode or so to get back into the swing of things after not recording for 2 weeks. So, hopefully today's one, I think today's better. It felt better. It felt like a better flow doing it. I don't know why I'm telling you this, because it doesn't really matter too much, does it? Well, I suppose it does. It needs to be a good episode for you, but it's just what goes on in my head. So hopefully today is better and slightly more entertaining for you. I've enjoyed recording this one, so hopefully you'll enjoy watching it. So if you have done, make sure you do drop a like on the video for me and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. And make sure you turn notifications on so you never miss a video. And I'll see you next time for some more Lincoln Loco action.